Joani Reid.
Thank you, Madam Deputy Speaker. Nobody is more pessimistic about Scotland's future than the SNP. And the first, John Swinney, has been working extremely hard these last couple of days to make sure no inappropriate celebrations are held. One of his complaints that was covered in the press today is that Labour are only cutting energy bills by £150 and double that for the poorest households. So, Madam Deputy Speaker, we on this side of the House are not pessimistic when it comes to Scotland's future. We're optimistic, and more than that, we're backing that optimism with cold, hard cash. £10 billion of additional funding for Scotland has been announced since the Labour Party took office in July last year. That's money that's available because in the United Kingdom we pool resources and we share strengths. Money that could be used to improve our schools, once our greatest pride. They have slid down the international league tables. It could be money come from Labour budgets that can be used to deliver significant improvements in the NHS, and yet under the SNP waiting times keep on rising. It's money that could be tackling crime, something that is needed given the alarming rise in violence in many... Yes, I will.
Further to the previous speaker's remarks about Scotland, where do pregnant mothers have to make a 200-mile round trip to give birth? In my constituency in Scotland, and wouldn't it be great if some of this money was spent to make the maternity service fair for mums? I couldn't agree more, and more than that, they need to deliver on their promise after promise after promise that they've made about the NHS and absolutely failed to deliver any improvements despite the fact that they've been given a record settlement. The money is out there, but under the tired and wired SNP, the ideas to use it effectively are not. Madam Deputy Speaker, it's my belief that Labour's victory in Scotland's general election rested on the support of three core groups. The first were young families and couples paying their first mortgage. I've met hundreds of such families on the doorstep in East Kilbride, Straven and across our villages. I know the last 18 months has been tough, but we are now delivering for those families. Mortgages costs are down, wages are up. The budget brings new action to cut fuel bills for between £150 and £300 a year. Our second key group of supporters were people in work but who relied on benefits to help pay their bills. For 14 years they were soft targets for austerity and denounced by the right-wingers as scroungers. Despite so many of them working every hour they could, they increasingly struggled to support themselves and their families. So many were desperate for help to arrive, and help has now arrived. And I am proud to support this redistributive budget. I am proud to have the chance to back a government that does things like twice announcing substantial increases in the minimum wage, abolishing the two-child cap, the despicable rate clause, and legislating for a real terms increase in universal credit. The last measure alone will directly benefit 450,000 households in Scotland. And the third group of that voted for us back in July last year are those aged between 18 and 24. Hundreds of thousands of young people who the SNP government have completely ignored. They're not the ones who live in Glasgow's West End or Edinburgh's Morningside. They don't look to FE colleges to give them training and skills that they need to get on in life. So here I admit that the news that the budget is mixed, because yes, a UK government can invest directly in Grangemouth and so help lead the way in bringing the skills needed for the clean energy future, or it can back Inchgreen dry dock to help access defence-related jobs. And both of these things are happening thanks to this budget. But no budget can change the SNP's policy of starving FE colleges of money or doing everything it can to block the renewal of Scotland's nuclear fleet. To change any of that, we need to get Anna Sarwar into House as the First Minister next May, and it is our belief that we can see, if we see that happen, that is our final piece of optimism for Scotland.